to Quinte Vibes Live. Today's guest is a dedicated real estate professional and entrepreneur, proudly continuing a family tradition of excellence in the housing industry. Michael Denison has been a licensed realtor for 10 years and recently earned his broker designation in 2024. With a passion for helping clients navigate one of life's biggest decisions, Michael is known for his commitment to exceptional service, strong relationships, and community connection throughout the Quinte region. Please join me in welcoming Michael Denison to Quinte Vibes Live.
Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. It was quite the intro.
Well, thank you. It's all about you. I didn't make up a thing.
Thanks.
You look very dashing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, wearing one of my favorite colors.
Well, it's the spring, right? The
It
spring
is a
season.
spring,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
So let's talk about how you started in the real estate profession. It's clearly part of your family legacy. So what inspired you to continue in the footsteps of your father and grandfather?
Quite interesting. It's not really a direction I was thinking of at the start. I grew up around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with my father being in real estate and my grandfather being in real estate, that's kind of what I grew up in. I knew what our days were like, what our lifestyle was like,
Right.
what our routines were like, and I grew up in it. And I think being very entrepreneurial myself, kind of through high school, I kind of realized that real estate was kind of one of those things that you can kind of start your own business.
Yes.
So I kind of ended up getting licensed right out of college, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give this a try.
Okay.
Seems like my father and grandfather are doing it. Might as well give it a try and see where it goes. So.
Now, getting licensed isn't an easy feat. I know there's a lot of hours of studying and then exams.
Yes, and things have changed actually. So it's when my grandfather got licensed, I remember him telling me that it was just like a one-day course. So that was, I think, 50 plus years ago. And then when I got licensed, I was on that threshold of where it was still actually kind of like you can kind of do it at home.
You're right.
So we got books sent to me. I had to study. It was still a studying process and exams. So I was able to slip in on that end of it while I was still in college, and now it's a college program now.
Okay.
So it's getting a little more difficult kind of thing.
Yeah. How long did it take you to finish everything?
I think it took me about a year. So at the time I was still in college, so I was taking business administration at the time.
Right.
And I was doing the real estate licensing at the same time as well. So I was just kind of balancing the both.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. So now you're a licensed realtor
Yes.
for over 10 years and recently became a broker in 2024. What's the difference between a realtor and a broker?
So it's really more like sales representative and broker. Not a whole lot. It was more of a personal goal on my end that it requires a bit more education. So I had to do some more courses. You learn about more of like the ethics behind of running a real estate brokerage. So if I wanted to be a broker owner, to like own my own brokerage, you need to have that broker designation.
Okay.
But what differentiate myself from a sales representative, not a whole lot, other than if I wanted to branch off onto my own and have my own company kind of thing.
Okay.
But
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned throughout the career that you've had in real estate?
Learned a lot. Lessons, I think even just behavioral changes as well. When I got licensed, I was 19 years old. So I had to grow up very quickly. I'm going into...
That's fairly young. Right?
Yeah, I was going into people's homes that have owned their home for longer than I was alive, and had to essentially give them the confidence that I was their realtor that could sell one of their largest assets. So it was a learning experience on learning how to be very confident and growing up very quickly when you're still a teenager as well. So overcoming that was something.
Did you get some kind of like skepticism about your age? Like, did you experience any ageism?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, still do. But yeah, at the very start, it was tough in regards that I was 19 and I looked like I was 12 or 9. But it was reassuring clients with confidence of like knowing my stuff. So it was a lot of back end stuff of I've had to study, do research, and be very knowledgeable and present that to people, which really helped.
I'm sure. Now, where does your confidence come from?
Oh, I had to dig down deep in there and find it. Not too sure. I think it was just something I had to learn. And everyone has it. I feel like everyone has confidence. It's just being able to overcome and find that in them.
Absolutely. Now, the housing market has changed significantly over the years.
Yes, it has.
So let's talk about the trends that are currently happening in the Quinte region. What do you see?
Well, it's a lot different than it was a few years ago,
Sure,
as I think everyone may know. The whole COVID phase of real estate really threw a wrench into a lot of things.
Yes.
But the trends that we're seeing now, especially, I'm going to speak more to the Quinte area just because that's my market, that's what I know. I'm really finding now we're leaning more into a balanced market. So what that means is we're seeing a lot more inventory on the market.
Yes.
So a lot of reasons during COVID where these prices spiked was low interest rates, lack of inventory, so that we didn't have a lot of homes listed for sale. But now with rates going higher and then more inventory hitting the market, buyers are seeing more options out on the market. So what that means is buyers have more choice and gives sellers a bit less leverage in negotiating. So we're kind of going more into that balanced market in this area. But I'm also finding that buyers are now almost having a bit of an upper hand in negotiations. Leveraging, they're just being a bit more, they're taking their time. They're taking their time to shop. They might find something that they like, but they want to compare it to a couple other houses. Where in the previous market, it was kind of the first house you saw you had to buy kind of thing. So we're seeing that kind of change more on a balance end, more or less.
Okay. So for first-time homeowners,
Yeah.
or home buyers rather, what advice would you give someone entering the market today?
The biggest thing is get pre-approved. One of the biggest issues I see, especially with first-time home buyers, is they're eager to get out there but don't know the process. So basically there's this process in place, but a lot of people aren't educated on it. So essentially what I recommend with first-time home buyers especially is getting pre-approved. And what does that mean?
Yes.
It means basically reaching out to a mortgage broker, a mortgage advisor, and we can get into all that as well, but essentially it's them getting you kind of approved in regards with your income, your credit situation and everything, and allowing you kind of more or less a budget on what you're willing or what you're able to spend on a home. And how that helps me is now I have a budget for the clients where it's like, okay, well, we now know what we have to buy. We have to buy within our means. So that's the first step. And the next step I always recommend is that first-time home buyers talk to a realtor. So either myself or if they have a friend or a referral or anything like that. And the reason is it's good to speak with a realtor to kind of just go over the process on what does buying entail. What are the costs involved, right? What's the procedure like? How does it work? What does the paperwork look like? There's all these little things, and I always advise buyers, especially the ones that I work with, is let's meet at my office for about 1 hour, and let's just kind of go through all those steps. And it gives buyers that confidence on, okay, now I understand what it is like having to buy a home, the steps, and the costs involved.
You know, buying or selling a home can be very emotional for many people. How do you help clients feel supported through the whole process?
Great question. I find that communication is huge. One of the biggest things I've learned is just obviously you're dealing with people, emotional behaviors and everything, right? So I find that a lot of times people just need to be, you just have to listen, not listen to them, like listen to them and see what they have to say and find out their needs and wants. And usually the best way to do it is if I just keep my mouth shut. And let you talk and find out those needs and wants. And a lot of times the clients feel heard and they feel that you're understanding them. They feel listened to. And then that's where then you can build the trust
Yes.
in a relationship as well. And that's, I think, then trust is the next phase, right, that people want. And that's kind of where we go from there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, in my experience learning sales strategy, one of the biggest parts of it is listening, actively listening. And people are so aware these days of so many different parts of, you know, the selling process. They don't actually want to feel like they're being sold something. They want to feel like, you know, you're working with them, you're collaborating in this journey.
They don't want to feel pushed, right?
They don't want to feel pushed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but to your point, there is a lot of buyers and sellers now that are very educated, right? Just with the internet and with AI and everything, you can get a lot of...
Ask Google.
Yeah, you can just ask Google and you got your answers, right? So it's, okay, well, how do we overcome those questions with those clients that they're getting from online?
Yes.
Because a lot of them seem to be very educated, but as us being the professionals, there's that touch too that we still have to kind of be involved with to kind of guide them properly, right? It's like self-assessing yourself with a medical condition online, right? You still probably go see a doctor still, right?
Yes, of course.
So it's no different than in any other professions as well.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the common misconceptions people have about real estate or realtors?
Oh, there's a few out there.
We got time.
You've probably heard a few, haven't you? I think the biggest one, we're not selling Sunset.
Okay.
Have you seen that show?
No.
Okay.
Tell me about that.
Okay, well, look it up. I think the common misconception there is, I think a lot of people think we just put up for sale signs and we post pictures on internet of listings, and that kind of aspect of it, they don't see a lot of the back end work. We're running a business, just like yourself, right? And there's a lot of stuff that goes in the back end work of
lots.
Logistics, just everything, right? Like paperwork and logistics and photographers and the video, and the lawyers and just everything going on, the phone calls and the showings and this and that. So I think the misconception is real estate's a very glamorous lifestyle, but they only see what they see on the images and videos, right? But not the back end of things. And it's funny because you mentioned that. Or I think the one thing everyone talks about is how realtors are always out golfing. I'm not much of a golfer, but when I get out to the links with my buddies, it's funny because I'm on my phone the entire time. I'm not even golfing, and it's funny because they all make fun of me now, right? They joke about it and everything. It's like, oh, there's Mike. He's on his phone. He's this and that. But it's one of those things that the misconception is that you're always out having fun or golfing, and we do have fun, right? It's everyone has fun, but it's one of those things that it's not always like that, right?
Yeah, you know, I recognize too that self-employment rarely has to do itself. Like you really need a team around you to build.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's important. So what's next for you? What's the vision for Michael Denison?
Great question.
2026 and beyond.
I'm excited about the future, and I'm ready to enjoy the journey, and whatever that is. And whatever that is, it's enjoying the ride, right? It's enjoying the whole process there. But I'm excited for what's to come, and I don't know what that is yet.
Okay. Yeah. But you're excited to receive it.
I am.
I like that. Yeah. I like that approach. Excellent. So how can people, reach out to you on social media to support?
Yeah, no, for sure. We're at teamdenison.ca online. You can also find us on Instagram as well at Denison Properties. You can find us there and go from there.
Fantastic. Well, I really appreciate your time here. I know you're very busy.
Well, thank you,
but
Nikki.
I learned a great deal about real estate.
Yeah.
And I'm sure someone's going to be very inspired by our conversation.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you again. Yeah. And it's always a pleasure to have you back. So anytime you want to update us on some more great stuff you're doing.
I'll be back for sure.
Yeah, make a stop here for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael Denison.